Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. AMC stock is up 7% at the time of recording this video. Volatility is here, but the real reason why AMC is higher today is very much fundamentally driven. And I think that's important to highlight because ultimately you want to see good fundamentals with AMC. And now that it looks like this arbitrage trade is less likely than it previously was, any fundamental positive news or even earnings upcoming, if those are good, that could lead to a much larger rally in AMC stock than maybe we have previously seen. Now, let's go ahead and get into this good news. Let's talk about the Ortex data and where everything is sitting here on the day today, as well as what's kind of happening in the broader markets as well. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. So AMC stock currently fighting around that $5 level. Currently, the stock is at $4.99 per share, up 7.5% on the day. The biggest up move that you have seen since obviously last Monday, and that was an up move of 33%. But besides that, this would be the biggest up move that you have seen since June 28th, and before that you have to go back to April to see an up move this large. So this is definitely a win for all of you guys. Hedge funds, institutions not feeling so good today. What the news is AMC enjoys the best week ever for box office revenue, fueled by Barbie and Oppenheimer. Even Avatar didn't have admission revenues this high for AMC. It says AMC Entertainment Holdings enjoyed its best week ever based on admissions revenue from July 21st through July 27th, the company said Monday, setting a new company record for U.S. theaters and global theaters. Some 65 U.S. locations also set single-week box office records, including 13 locations in the greater Los Angeles market. The record revenue was driven primarily by the strong openings of Barbie and Oppenheimer, which hit theaters July 21st and saw strong moviegoer demand throughout their first full week, according to AMC. The momentum for both movies stayed strong in their second week, the company said in a statement. AMC also cited the opening of Haunted Mansion and the continued success of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Sound of Freedom, which made July 27th through July 30th its third busiest weekend globally since theaters reopened from pandemic closures in 2020. Admission revenue was considerably more than double the admissions revenue for the same weekend last year, the company said. So, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Adam Aronson, wanting some good news from AMC, it doesn't get any better than this. In addition to last weekend being the highest grossing AMC weekend in 4 years, the week of July 21st through the 27th was the highest grossing for AMC in our entire 103-year history. The best in 103 years. Sounds pretty excited, and that's really something you should be excited for as well. Now, what's important to point out with AMC specifically, if you're just essentially waiting around for the MOAS at this point, you need to see the fundamentals doing well. If the fundamentals do well, then there is no short thesis. Regardless of this arbitrage trade, well, if AMC's fundamentals even got better, they might not even have to do this in the first place. AMC just might cancel it. That would be a huge rally to AMC. That would give you the MOAS. If AMC had enough confidence to cancel the reverse split and all of that, that would be huge. Now, I'm not going to say this is exactly what they're going to do. As of March 31st, AMC's cash position was $495.6 million, so they definitely do need to raise capital, but they do have some time to try to, figure things out. This was the best week in AMC's history. I'm sure that leads to good earnings. Now, we're kind of expecting pretty good earnings for this quarter that we're going to be getting numbers for, Q2, but Q3, Barbie and Oppenheimer, it should be good as well. So things are improving for AMC. That's a positive. That's why AMC stock is up 7.5% at the time of recording this video. But what do we see happening as well here on the day today with AMC? Option activity extremely negative, 50 orders totaling $9.26 million, positive order value of 9%. It doesn't even matter what happens to AMC's share price on any given day. You're just seeing doubling down of options at a pace that's absolutely crazy. You know, this is a lot of money flowing into these very bearish options, and it's not being used as a hedge. It's being used as more synthetic shorts. So you really got to kind of wonder what's going on here and why they are just loading up on these put options still, even on these great days for AMC. I think that's also really suppressing the price action of AMC. Without this negative option activity every single day, a day like today would probably be a 10 or 15% up day. But you have all of those synthetic shorts that are out working in the marketplace. Now, before we dive into the rest of AMC and everything you guys need to know over here on Ortex, I do want to briefly talk about what's going on in the markets as well. You're kind of seeing your small and mid-cap stocks really outperforming today compared to big tech. A lot of your big tech names are kind of flat on the day. And, you know, some of the stocks that we currently have trades in, some of the stocks that we invest in are up 10 to 15%. Something like a Fubo. Again, AMC, Roku, you know, some of these names that are unprofitable, that are growth stocks. And I think a part of it is this. The Biden administration launches new Save Student Loan Repayment Plan. It says the Saving on a Valuable Education or SAVE plan is an income-driven repayment plan that may cut many borrowers' previous monthly payments in half and will leave some people with no monthly bill. Now, this is one of the things that I was most concerned about, is student loan repayments starting up again. This could be that tipping factor that could have pushed the economy into a recession. And this is supposed to start at the end of this year. So if you don't see that big burden of a $300, $400, $500, $600 a month payment come back like you've seen pre-pandemic, the economy's not going to go through this recession. This recession's just not going to happen without something negative happening. And I think that's ultimately what they're trying to do here. I think if you're a relatively educated individual, it's easy to see. The only way you're going to get a recession is if student loan repayments kick in, and that's draining billions of dollars a month in excess spending power that Americans, you know, just wouldn't have anymore. That's going to really slow down spending. So this, whether you love it or hate it, I don't leave the politics aside, this makes it more attractive to look at some of your unprofitable, highly growing stocks because it substantially takes down the odds that we will see a recession. If people have no monthly bill or even half of what they see in pre-pandemic, that's a very big deal. Now, if we look at AMC's actual numbers here, estimated short interest of free flow at 29.5%, free flow out on loan at 35.7%, shares out on loan 184.3 million, days to cover 7.85, 245% 3-month cost to borrow fees, utilization at 80.32%, about $706 million worth of short positions currently in AMC as well. And guess what? AMC stock is still on the threshold securities list. It's been this way for weeks, and it really makes you wonder what in the hell is going on. Is that, government regulatory bodies not looking into this? Why? Why is AMC one of the most longest standing stocks on the threshold securities list? I believe today it is the longest running stock on the threshold securities list as of right now. So what's going on here? And I think it's pretty clear a lot of you guys understand what's happening here. Ultimately, this ends one way, and it ends badly for the hedge funds and institutions that are short in AMC that have sold short 30% of AMC's float and also continue to short in the options. So the real amount of shares currently sold short well over 200 million, likely 250 to even 300 million if you include the option activity. We've done these calculations before. Usually you can add a good, 100 million or so shares being currently sold short by market makers in the options market. So cost of borrow fees, like I said, around 350% as well. Interactive Brokers has the cost of borrow fee at 158%. Very high. And, don't think about day by day variations of the cost of borrow fees. Think about where they've been for months now. That's putting a lot of pressure on the hedge funds and institutions. Now, as far as economic data as well, we didn't get anything this morning. Tomorrow morning, we are going to get a little bit, and that's going to be ISM manufacturing PMIs. You're expecting this to come in at 46.8. It's been falling ever since, 2021, 2022. If you see an uptick here, that's going to be good. Manufacturing, obviously, you want to see that do well if you're in the soft landing camp. Last month's reading was 46, so you're expecting a little bit better of a reading, but not all too much. And the JOLTS job openings tomorrow comes in at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're expecting around 9.62 million job openings. Last month's rating was 9.82 million. So the best way to think about this is we need the labor market to contract a little bit, but people don't necessarily have to lose their jobs. If you see job openings fall, well, that's enough to constrict the labor market right there. You don't necessarily have to see the unemployment rate going higher. Why this is important is just simply because of partly why you're seeing AMC actually going higher today. That soft landing looks a little bit more likely with the student loan repayment plan save thing that Biden is trying to do. That could help you avoid a recession. And that's ultimately going to be good for unprofitable companies, number one, which AMC is that, as well as, high growth unprofitable companies. Those are the ones that are seeing the money being added to today. And AMC is definitely in that camp. Now, like we have said previously, after that rally you've seen last Monday, you did fill the gap down to this $4.50 level. And now you've rallied another about 50 cents from there. So you filled the gap, and now you're starting to move back up higher. This is pretty typical of what we've seen in the past with AMC. So obviously no guarantees. What we've seen in the past is kind of AMC trending downwards. But it looks like you're kind of breaking that, and you've been in this bottoming process for such a long time. If you start to break out above, key levels, if we do get just this overall money shift in the markets that continues to happen, AMC stock could, rally quite aggressively here, especially if the business is getting better. And if it looks more and more uncertain, as it does today, that this arbitrage trade will ever even turn out profitable for any hedge fund or institution that is short AMC, long on APE. So some pretty promising things that we're seeing here. I can't make a bear case right now. Like I said, the company's doing well. There's no reason to expect the judge is instantly going to let the settlement go through. If anything, it's going to be months longer and more commentary from retail investors around the settlement. AMC already tried to skirt you. They already tried to say, hey, we'll do a larger settlement, but we don't want to hear comments from retail investors. And the judge said no to that. So this thing's going to take some time, but things are looking in the right direction. They're looking up instead of looking down. So that's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys also want to come trade with us live in real time every time we make a trade, link down below in the description of this video as well. So thank you for watching. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.